On this channel, I do my absolute best to make sure I give you the right information, but nobody's perfect, and there's 5 times I definitely wasn't perfect. So today, let's go over the top 5 pieces of misinformation, times that I kind of lied to you. My name's Adam, this is Diamond, you're watching Wickens Wicked Reptiles, stick around. So like I said, I do my best here, but I mean, we're, 390 something videos in, so you're gonna make mistakes, it happens. But if you watch a channel, you know I correct myself all the time. If I'm wrong about something, let me know in the comment section, I'll research it, and if you're right, I'll let you know in the next video. But these are the 5 times that maybe I haven't corrected yet, or just the silliest gooses of all the silly goose stuff I might have ever said. Starting off with number 5. Axolotls can live in 10-gallon aquariums. So the very first top 5 in a 10-gallon video that I ever did, which you can watch right here, I said that axolotls could live in a 10-gallon their whole life. And they can, but since that video, I've really changed the way that I do things, and I advocate for much larger enclosures. So I would say that axolotls are better off in a 20-gallon than a 10-gallon. In fact, I've never kept an axolotl in 10-gallon, or we did for a little bit, but now all of our axolotls are in 20 gallons. They don't really move around that much, I'll be honest, but they do poop a lot. So it helps the filtration system. So the filtration is just easier, and there's less waste in the water, and when they move around, you don't see debris, and it just filters the water more. I do think that axolotls are pretty awesome. I mean, they do come from 2 lakes in Mexico. Well, one of those lakes is basically not even there anymore. If I had to guess, if I had to theorize, they will be extinct in my lifetime in the wild. So it's cool that we have them in captivity. They like really cool water, which is why they're on the opposite side of this wall in a basement. So their water's like 66 degrees, something like that. That's the way that they like it. If you get above 72, they can perish. So it's a very unique type of species. They're a salamander that is fully aquatic, so they never come out on land. They don't need to anyway. They have gills. Some of them can glow in the dark. They come in a bunch of different morphs. All around, in my opinion, axolotls are really cool. I just don't make videos about them because when I do, you guys don't watch them. So let's move on. Number 4, there are no elapids in the US. Okay, so this one I misspoke. I knew that coral snakes lived in the US. Now this video was the top 5 master level reptiles. I was talking about some sort of elapid, so maybe king cobras. And I was saying that there are no elapids in the US. It just slipped my mind that, oh yeah, coral snakes are elapids. I knew that, I misspoke, whatever. But in the end, I was wrong, right? I said something wrong in the video. Something cool about coral snakes is they're the only elapid in the US, and there's 3 different species, and I'll show you the map of where they are right here. We're gonna talk about eastern coral snakes for now. I just wanna make this video less than an hour long. Now, eastern coral snakes are oftentimes called the American cobra because, well, they're an elapid. Now, these guys, you might notice, look kind of like a milk snake, right? Like a Pueblan milk snake or Honduran, like there's a bunch of different ones that look similar. And there, of course, is a phrase, a saying that they learn in Boy Scouts to help you learn which one is which. Red touch yellow, kill a fellow. Red touch black, friend of Jack, or safe for Jack, or whatever. The problem is there are exceptions.
Basically, the whole red touch yellow, kill a fellow, red touch black, friend of Jack is not really applicable anywhere because you do have aberrancies in pattern.
I wouldn't go by this. Just in general, don't pick up a snake unless you're 100% sure what it is. So you're trying to look like something, if you're the milk snake, that is venomous, that is dangerous. Where a milk snake, we know, is not venomous or dangerous. Kind of like how dart frogs are brightly colored. Don't eat me or you're gonna have a bad day. So yeah, that's why they do that. Now, they do have a similar venom, like I said, to other elapids. In the 1950s, there was 2 deaths. And then in the 1960s, there was an antivenom that was introduced that is readily available, basically everywhere where these snakes occur. So because of that, only one time since 1960, since the 50s, has someone died of a coral snake bite. It was in 2006, and it was because this person didn't get proper medical attention. So it's very rare that you get bit by one in the first place, and if you do, you can save yourself. Just go to a hospital. That's it. I mean, hopefully, that's it. Number 3, house snakes are colubrids. I can't remember which video I said this in, but they're not. House snakes are not colubrids. I mean, this is the weird one because people are gonna argue in the comment section that they are, because if you go on Wikipedia, it still says that they are. But technically they're not. I'm just gonna give this one over to Garrett, and Garrett can explain this one.
Adam, in your video about house snakes, you said that they were colubrids. I don't know why you lie to your audience like that, but you did. Pythons are in the family Pythonidae. Colubrids are in Colubridae. The African house snakes are actually Lampriphiidae. So they are neither colubrids nor are they pythons. They're actually most closely related to some pretty serious venomous snakes like stiletto snakes. So the more you know.
Thanks, Garrett. Really appreciate it. Let's see. I just wanted someone who was smart enough, who actually kept house snakes, to explain it, because Garrett's one who told me I was wrong in the first place. Anyway, let's move on. Before we move on, I want to say thanks to Into the AM. You guys have been rocking with me before any other sponsor. Really appreciate it, and I rock with you because your clothing is fit perfectly. My little pencil arms don't look so pencily. It fits my body correctly, even as a short guy. These are the most fun-fitting t-shirts because they make me look better than I actually do. And they have the coolest designs. It has a frog. I mean, come on. Like, I always get asked where I get this shirt, like to the point where I should have a card to give out for when people ask. Anyway, and you can get 3 of these awesome graphic tees right now if you use the link below intotheam.com/WWR. $55 for any 3 of these shirts, intotheam.com/WWR right now, and you can look as cool as me. Okay, let's move on. Number 2, hognose snakes and their tail sizes. I said in the very first hognose snake care guide, which I think was like my 2nd or 3rd video, that hognose snakes, if they're a male, have short tails, and if they're female, have long tails. This little baby right here is a female, and you can tell they've got a longer tail. I just misspoke. I mean, I bred hognose snakes before this, so obviously I knew the difference. I invested tons of money before this. I knew, but I did make a mistake. I did correct it in the comment section. Doesn't matter. This one's gonna be really quick. Hognose snakes, if they're a male, have a longer tail because that's where their hemipenes go. Females have a shorter tail because they don't need one. Now, of course, this isn't a foolproof method of sexing, but in every case that I've ever had, because you can always probe them and stuff like that, or take it to a professional. I always say, go to a professional to sex your hognose snake. Don't just go willy-nilly start trying to pop hemipenes or jamming probes into their cloacas. But either way, I was wrong. This doesn't need any more explanation. Hognose snakes are awesome, 3 feet long at the most. Really cool, rear fang venomous, but not dangerous to humans. Really cool keeled scale, come in tons of morphs. Yeah, let's move on. Number 1, just the common name for the Nultinus genus of geckos. I said that they were northern green geckos. Really, a lot of people call them Northland green geckos, and more commonly, they're just called green geckos because they look like this. Basically, these animals are very interesting. They're from New Zealand. It's a genus. There's several different species within the genus, but either way, they have a granular scale, kind of feel rigid a little bit. They're very expensive to buy if you're in Europe or Canada. In the US, there's almost none available, and it's almost impossible to bring any in, so yeah, sorry about that, America. Also, you guys can't have Fiji iguanas either, so that's my Canadian flex for today. And by expensive, I mean here in Canada, I've only seen them available one time, and that was for like, I think it was $13,000 for a pair. Now, what makes them cool is they do have a prehensile tail. Some geckos have this, but it's just not a lot of them do anyway, so I think it's really cool that they have that. And also, they're diurnal and arboreal. I like diurnal arboreal animals. I think they're fun. My Fiji banded iguana, you guys know Frankie at this point. So I think it's a really cool animal. It's not something that I would probably ever own, just simply because $13K is a little bit much for me. I'm not really interested enough to breed them. So you probably won't see them in my collection, but they're really cool. And if you're in the US, you probably won't see them in anyone's collection. Literally, people have gotten to jail and been fined 5 figures for trying to smuggle these from New Zealand, where they're from. So don't do that. So there you go. Those are the 5 times that I lied to you. Let me know what you think. Is there anything else that I might have got wrong that I could do a part 2? Let me know in the comment section below. And let me know what you want to see next time. And as always, please hit like and subscribe. It really helps this channel more than you could ever imagine. And a special thanks to the Patreon supporters. You guys get videos early, you get extra content, you guys know a lot about the Thailand trip that I'm either on right now or next week or whenever this video comes out. You're gonna get all that stuff way early too. You knew about Frankie way before anybody else, the Fiji bandit that I got. All that for as little as $1 and more. For as little as $1, and also you can get more. Anyway, because we do videos on Mondays and Thursdays, that means I'll see you in the next one. And I'm not an expert. I'm just a dummy with a bunch of snakes that you're listening to on YouTube.